Su Chen, who had just crossed over, was forcibly assigned a wife by the government. And Su Chen's daughter.In.Law is actually an unwanted witch. Only because the witch will experience a phenomenon of returning to her ancestors when her emotions fluctuate violently. Su Chen was assigned a wife named Snake Girl, which made her quite excited. Isn't this the legendary Medusa and Zhao Ling'er? From then on, brewing wine, making sugar, making soap, and making glass. Su Chen and her daughter.In.Law have lived a happy life. Chapter 001. Forced marriage of three widows at the beginning. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. Xiao Su, don't be busy anymore. Quickly pack up and follow me to the village entrance to retrieve it from my mother.In.Law. This year's policy has changed, and one person has to bring back at least 3 women. If you don't claim it, you'll have to pay taxes on the 4 gold coins next year. If collected, there will be no need to pay taxes for at least 3 years. In Xuanhuan village, located on the northeast border of the Hongwu Empire and under the Great Wall, the old village chief held a large smoking bag and pot, smoking with one hand and pointing towards the direction of the village entrance. Helplessly, he introduced the matter of marrying a wife to Su Chen. Due to the chaos of the northern demon tribes, the Hongwu Empire and the northern demon tribes fought against each other for 100 years. In this century-long war, although the demon race was destroyed 90%, the Hongwu Empire was also dragged down. Years of war have led to a continuous decrease in male population, and now there are no more. In addition, the floods and various evil forces in Jiangnan have put the population of the Hongwu Empire on the brink of collapse. So, Emperor Hongwu ordered that all males in the country who reached the age of 16 must marry and have children. Quickly restore population and economy while the northern demon tribe has no further fighting power. And Su Chen, after listening to the old village chief's words, the corners of her mouth were even harder to suppress than AK. Just crossed over to the government and got married. And also send 3 at once. No, not yet. Mom, where is this good thing? Is it because the heavens saw that they were lonely and helpless, and deliberately compensated them? By the way, village chief, does it require a dowry to marry a bride? Before crossing over, Su Chen had read many historical novels and knew that in ancient times, if one wanted to get married, it was necessary to marry openly. The betrothal gift. You've taken them in quite well, do you still have the betrothal gift? Who dares to ask for a dowry? Is it a reversal of the heavenly gang or something? If Master Hongwu had issued an imperial decree, all women over the age of 16 would have to pay an annual tax of 1 gold if they didn't get married. 2 gold coins in the 2nd year and 4 gold coins in the 3rd year. Except for those landlords' wealthy families, who has this condition. When Su Chen talked about the dowry, the old village chief gave Su Chen a glare. It's been so many years now, I can't even get married anymore. Why bother with the dowry? After walking a few steps, the two of them arrived at the entrance of Xuanhuan village. Su Chen saw a group of light soldiers with at least 200 to 300 women waiting for the people of Xuanhuan village. You, come here, hurry up and choose. Choose 3 and we will send you the wedding letter on site. Seeing the old village chief running over with Su Chen, the leading soldier took out 3 marriage certificates and handed them to Su Chen. Okay, I'll just choose. Choose 3, right. Su Chen took the wedding letter and looked through the officers and soldiers towards the group of women behind her. At first glance, Su Chen was a bit disappointed because these women were all pale and emaciated, with withered and yellow hair. They were immediately malnourished, and they had just turned 16 before fully developing. The beauty she imagined was completely different from Su Chen's. The minimum standard is to choose 3, with no upper limit. If you have the ability, choose 100, or even 1,000. But after 3 years, everyone will have to pay 1 gold tax. If you choose 3 plus you, it will be 4 gold taxes in 3 years. Choose 100, that's the tax of 100 gold. If you don't have money, you will be sent to do corvée labor, and your 3 wives will be reassigned to men. The leading officer smiled and introduced the situation to Su Chen. Su Chen walked towards the more than 200 women in front of her. After all, they said that she had to choose at least 3 daughters-in-law. If you choose less, you will have to pay a fine or something. Su Chen, who only traveled here 3 days ago, is penniless. These past few days, even meals have been provided by the old village chief for relief. If it weren't for the old village chief delivering meals to Su Chen on time, Su Chen might have traveled again. Xiao Su, remember to look for those with big buttocks and round waists. Not only are they easy to raise, but they are also skilled at farming. As he passed by the village chief, he leaned into Su Chen's ear and whispered a reminder. Remember, don't choose the 3 on the left, they are all witches and will return to their ancestors. Our county magistrate married a witch, and when she entered the bridal chamber, the witch transformed into a hedgehog and was stabbed to death by the prefect. Upon hearing the village chief say that there was actually a witch, Su Chen's eyes lit up. Dong Yong's fairy, Su Xian's snake girl, and Ning Caichen's female ghost, then there isn't any ugly one. But I need to ask myself what kind of witch these women are. After nodding to the old village chief to show that she understood, Su Chen ran quickly to the location of these 3 witch girls. What race are you from? What would you look like if you were to return to your ancestors? Looking at the 3 witches in front of her, 2 of whom looked very similar, Su Chen walked up to the silver-haired witch and asked. This woman is at least 1.9 meters tall, with long silver hair casually draped over her shoulders. The slanted phoenix eyes and towering Cheong nose made Su Chen's heart itch. This appearance reminded Su Chen of an anime female lead she had seen in her past life, Medusa. Hui Lang Jun, I am from the Snake clan. After returning to my ancestors, my lower body will turn into a 2 to 3 meter long tail. It seemed that she saw the joy in Su Chen's eyes, and the woman bowed to Su Chen Yingying, saying what she would look like when she returned to her ancestors. Oh! Snake girl! Medusa! Upon hearing that the woman's lower body would turn into a 2-meter-long snake tail, Su Chen almost drooled. Medusa, it's really Medusa. You will be my eldest lady from now on. Pulling up the snake girl's hand, Su Chen smiled and said, Snake girl, how nice. Let's also experience the fun of Su Xian and Xuanhuan. Xie Fujuan, these are my twin sisters. I wonder if you can take my sister with you. Upon hearing that Su Chen had made herself the eldest lady, the snake girl was so excited that her pupils were exposed and she shook Su Chen's hand. Okay, take your sister with you. Surprisingly, there is still a younger sister. And they're still twins. No wonder you 2 look so similar. At this moment, Su Chen only felt his heart beating wildly. Wow, who can resist this temptation? Not only can one experience the joy of Medusa, but also the joy of the White Lady and Shaoqing. Isn't this taking off in place? What is this kid doing? They all said they wouldn't let him choose a witch, why do they still choose a witch? On the other hand, the old village chief looked at Su Chen and directly selected among the witches, and his whole person was not good. Everyone tells you that the witch will return to her ancestors, and you still choose the witch. Is it because you despise your long lifespan? What kind of race are you from? What will you look like when you return to your ancestors? On Su Chen's side, after choosing 2 snake women, he turned his gaze to the charming woman at the end. This seductive face almost made Su Chen lose his mind. She is indeed a witch. Hui Lang Jun, I am from the fox human race. After transforming, I will grow a fox tail and my ears will also turn into fox ears. Hiss. Chapter 002. I want to challenge my weaknesses. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xiao Su, you need to think carefully and not be greedy for beauty. Just as Su Chen had selected 3 wives and returned to the side of the officers and soldiers, the village chief rushed over in a hurry. "Thank you for your kindness, village chief. However, I would like to challenge my weaknesses. Even if they return to their ancestors, I'm not afraid." "Don't worry, village chief." Looking at the anxious appearance of the village chief, Su Chen also smiled and expressed his thoughts to the village chief. "Returning to ancestors. What I'm afraid of is that you won't go back to your ancestors." Medusa, Sudaji. May I ask all readers, who doesn't want to challenge their weaknesses? Okay, Su Chen, empty cicada snow lady, empty cicada rain book, warm lonely illusionary bamboo, you 4 voluntarily become husband and wife. The legitimate wife is the empty cicada snow queen, the empty cicada rain book, and the warm fox fantasy bamboo is the concubine's room. Come on, press your fingerprint here, and then you can receive 3 taels of gold from the government. Just as the old village chief was about to say something to Su Chen, the leading officers and soldiers quickly ran over. After taking the marriage document from Su Chen's hand and writing Su Chen's name on it, he asked Su Chen and others to press their fingerprints. Because there were not many people who could read in the countryside, let alone write, the government had already written the documents for the woman before departure. As soon as they found their husband's family, they immediately wrote the man's name on them. They were already worried about how these witch maidens could get married. After all, there were not just 1 or 2 people who scared to death when the witch maidens returned to their ancestors. Most of these witches cannot marry off and cannot pay taxes, even the brothels dare not be sent over. After all, once sent to the brothels, it will cause a life incident. So 90% of these witch girls will find a place to settle themselves when they can't get married, otherwise they will have to implicate the family when they return home. How could a warrior be unhappy now that he has married 3 witch girls at once? Come on, I'll give you a gold as a reward. The more they thought, the happier the officers and soldiers took out another gold and gave it to Su Chen. Ding! Successfully married the host and married the 3rd wife at once, successfully bound to the multi-child and multi-blessing system. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining the physical fitness of Li Yuanba, a legendary figure from the Sui and Tang dynasties. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining the 10th level skill. Heavenly Master degree. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining the 12th grade merit Golden Lotus. Ding! The newbie gift package has been successfully distributed. Congratulations to the host for receiving 10,000 taels of gold and 3 basic daily necessities gift packages. Watching the officers and soldiers put the money into their hands and run away with the women, Su Chen, who was feeling a bit confused, heard the mechanical sound coming from her ear. Is this a system? A multi-child, multi-blessing system? Sure enough, the rich rely on technology, the poor rely on mutation, and travelers and systems are more compatible. 3 days ago, I was a poor loser who had achieved nothing. Not to mention marrying a wife, I didn't even have the money to comfort a woman who had made mistakes. Who would have thought that 3 days later, I would marry 3 wives at once? You. Just as Su Chen was fantasizing about becoming a wealthy landlord and leading a shameless life with his beautiful wife. The old village chief shook his head helplessly, turned around, and walked towards the village. As the northern frontier of the Hongwu Empire, their Xiaohe village was adjacent to the Great Wall, making them the closest place to the demon tribe. They all know better that witches cannot be married back home. Because witches always return to their ancestors, especially during periods of emotional fluctuations, such as the wedding night of the bridal chamber. The key is that each witch behaves differently when she returns to her ancestors. Throughout history, those who do not believe in evil have been like crucian carp crossing the river, but in the end, they will all die at the hands of witch. Think about it, the woman in front of you who enters the bridal chamber is a charming woman. In the blink of an eye, she becomes a hedgehog, a weasel, a mouse. Not only those with a bad heart, but those with a good heart will be scared out for good or bad. So now, most witch women are unmarried, even if they are much more beautiful than human women. Let's go back home, let's put down your luggage first. Wait this afternoon, let's go to Beifu County City to purchase some things and come back. Hire some masters to decorate our house as well. Looking at the distant back of the old village chief, Su Chen looked at his 3 beautiful wives again and walked towards his house with a smile on his face. Rather than saying that Su Chen's house is a house, it is better to say that Su Chen's house is a real cave dwelling. Not only Su Chen, but also the people of Xiaohe village and the front line of the battlefield live within the Great Wall. The Hanwu Great Wall in this world is much larger than the Great Wall in Su Chen's previous life. The length is currently unknown to Su Chen, but this Great Wall is as high as 20 meters and at least 50 meters wide. Like the home that Su Chen was assigned to, it was a huge house 30 meters wide and 150 meters long. Of course, this house was not allocated for free. Once a demon tribe invaded, Su Chen would light the beacon tower. Even helping soldiers transport war supplies, and checking the firewood and flammable materials under the beacon tower when they have nothing to do. Listen to your husband. The 3 women bowed to Ying, then picked up their luggage and followed Su Chen towards his home. This is our future home, with a total of 6 floors. I live on the 2nd floor, so you can choose your own room to live in. Su Chen's home is still quite large, but it's quite dilapidated. The only furniture she can hold is the dining table and 4 chairs. This is still left by the former landlord, otherwise Su Chen would have nothing left. Su Chen's home is divided into 6 floors, and the first floor, along with the basement, is used to store things. This is located in the northeast region, and the winters are very cold every year, and there is no food to grow in the field. So every household should start storing winter food and vegetables when it's autumn. Sister, we also live on the 2nd floor. After thinking for a moment, Kong Cicada Yushu realized that since Su Chen lives on the 2nd floor, they can live with him on the 2nd floor. After all 3 of them are new daughter.In. Law, it depends on who can conceive Su Chen's child first. Once pregnant, the status at home will be different. In ancient times, a childless concubine could be said to be very miserable. Not only did she have no status at home, but she could even be gifted or entertained by her husband. But with a child, it's different. Once the child becomes successful, their status will also soar. So they need to conceive Su Chen's child as soon as possible, and the 2nd floor is the closest place to Su Chen. Okay, you can handle it as you please. Anyway, there are 4 or 5 rooms on the 2nd floor. You guys go pack up first, let's go to the county town for lunch later, and then buy some things to come back. Looking at her 3 delicate daughters-in-law, Su Chen couldn't wait for it to get dark. Especially the twin Medusa, with her long legs, who can bear to be coiled around her waist. Chapter 003. Questioning King Zhou, Understanding King Zhou, Becoming King Zhou. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. Watching his 3 newlyweds walk towards the 2nd floor, Su Chen sat in a chair and opened the previous system reward. Firstly, there is 10,000 taels of gold, which still has great purchasing power in this world. 1 or 2 gold coins are equivalent to 10 taels of silver and 100 taels of copper coins. According to the old village chief, 1 or 2 gold coins are approximately equivalent to Su Chen's previous purchasing power of 10,000 yuan. These 10,000 taels of gold, which means the system gave Su Chen a full 1 billion yuan in cash. With these 10,000 taels of gold, not to mention in Xiaohe village, one can live quite comfortably in Beifu County. Apart from being worth 10,000 taels of gold, there is also Li Yuanba's physique. Who is Li Yuanba? The first hero of the Sui and Tang dynasties, who single-handedly killed 1.2 million people, although it was too exaggerated, it also demonstrated the ability of Li Yuanba. According to the interpretation, Li Yuanba killed an average of 55 people in 1 second, and Gatling doesn't have this kind of killing power either. System, quickly integrate Li Yuanba's physique with me. Thinking about Li Yuanba's almost perpetual motion machine-like physical strength, Su Chen excitedly rubbed his hands and quickly let the system integrate him. Subsequently, Su Chen felt a warm current all over her body, and then there was no more. Isn't it very painful to integrate physical fitness? I don't feel much about myself, do I? Although she was a bit puzzled, Su Chen still focused on the items rewarded by other systems. 10-level cultivation technique. Heavenly Master Degree. Taking out the technique provided by the system, Su Chen carefully watched it. This Heavenly Master Degree is not so much a cultivation method, but rather an encyclopedia, which mainly divides the content into two categories. One is the cultivation method of becoming a Taoist and the other is the cultivation method of becoming a horse immortal. To become an immortal is to cultivate oneself, similar to the legendary cultivator, but without the power of a cultivator who can easily destroy heaven and earth. This includes a series of inheritances such as formations, talismans, elixirs, and refining tools. And to become a horse immortal, it is necessary to worship the Great Immortal, which is the legendary 5 immortals, Fox Yellow, White Willow Gray. These great immortals want to overcome the thunder calamity and successfully achieve enlightenment and ascension, in order to obtain enough merit and use it to offset the terrifying thunder calamity. Therefore, many great immortals will take disciples as their companions to protect one side and gain the power of merit. Lightning Thunder Fist. This is good, this is good. In the selection of Tian Shirdu, Su Chen finally chose a boxing technique he liked, which was the Lightning Thunder Fist in front of him. This fist technique is a 10th grade skill, and when practiced to the extreme, it can transform into lightning, similar to the meaning of the ninth uncle's senior brother Shi Jian. With the combination of Li Yuanba's physique, Su Chen felt that there was no more suitable technique for him than this. By the way, and this 12th-grade merit golden lotus, it's a treasure in the world of the wilderness. Just as Su Chen took out the 12th-grade merit golden lotus, before she could react, she saw this 12th-grade merit golden lotus seeping into her own elixir field. I see. After carefully examining the message conveyed by the merit golden lotus in her mind, Su Chen nodded. So far, this merit golden lotus has not had much destructive power. It can only protect Su Chen from evil invasion. This thing needs to be unlocked step by step through Su Chen's future cultivation. If one can do more good deeds during the middle of cultivation, the unlocking speed of this merit golden lotus will be faster. Not bad, not bad, not bad. After organizing her gains, Su Chen took out 3 large gift packages of daily necessities given by the previous system. Tip. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the newlywed 4-piece bed set *9. Tip. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the spring and autumn 4 seasons *9. Tip. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 30 gold and silver jewelry. Tip. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 300 kilograms of rice. Tip. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 300 kilograms of various vegetables. Is that all? Blinking her eyes, Su Chen was stunned as she looked at the contents of the daily necessities gift package. I'm looking forward to it. Husband, we have packed up. Just as Su Chen was looking at the large gift package of daily necessities, the third woman had already finished packing it up, coiling her hair and combing it into the shape of a woman, and walked down from the 2nd floor. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go to the village chief's house to borrow his donkey cart and head directly to Beifu County. Have a meal over there, buy some clothes, and then find some masters to come back and decorate the house. As Su Chen spoke, she took the lead and walked towards the outside. The third daughter also followed behind Su Chen, step by step, and arrived at the village chief's house. Village chief, lend me your donkey cart for use. I want to go to Beifu city to buy some things and then find my master to come back and decorate my home. Upon arriving at the village chief's house, Su Chen saw him standing in the courtyard holding a smoking bag pot and sighing. I won't listen to any advice. But it's also good. The official has given you 4 taels of gold, so you can go to the county town and enjoy it. The old village chief looked at Su Chen, then at the 3 women behind him, and handed the donkey cart to Su Chen with a bitter smile. In the heart of the old village chief, Su Chen is already a dead person, and he will definitely not live tonight. Rather than just dying at home like this, it's better to take the money given by the official and go to Beifu city to enjoy it. Drive. After getting on the carriage and bidding farewell to the village chief, Su Chen led his 3 daughters-in-law towards the city of Beifu. The 3 ladies, as my father's family, also have some assets. This time we are going to Beifu city, we need to make a big purchase. Clothes, furniture, food, and even some things from my daughter's house need to be purchased. So, I'll give each of you 10 gold coins first, and you'll buy what you like. Just leave everything else to me. On the car, Su Chen was driving the carriage while taking out the gold from the system space and handing it to the 3 ladies. Not to mention anything else, just the looks of these 3 wives can easily become top-tier celebrities in their past lives. With just my own virtue, not to mention marrying 3 wives, even one of me cannot get close to others. Husband, is our family so wealthy? Looking at the 10 taels of gold in his hand, when Xuanhuan blinked his sexy eyes and looked at Su Chen in shock. The reason why they were forced to marry at the age of 16 is not because there is really no money at home and they cannot afford to pay annual taxes. Even if they marry Su Chen, it is not foolproof. Once Su Chen cannot afford to pay their family's taxes after 3 years, Su Chen will be forced into corvée labor, and they will also lose their lives. Human women will also be sold to brothels, but their demonic women do not receive this treatment. Of course, just follow me and rest assured. This time I'm going to visit Beifu and buy more things. 3 days later, you will take me to Mount Taishan's house to recognize the door. Su Chen smiled and rubbed the head of the 3 women. Not to mention, Su Daji was truly Su Daji. With this seductive and charming expression on her face, Yi Chen understood what it meant for the emperor to not go to court early from now on. This is called questioning King Zhou, understanding King Zhou, and then becoming King Zhou. Chapter 004. Beifu City, Black Widow Lady Zhao. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. Along the way, Su Chen chatted and laughed with the 3 ladies, and learned from their mouths what a witch was. The so-called witch is a person born from a demon outside the border who abducted a woman from the Hongwu Empire. The demon tribe people do not treat the witch as a member of the same kind, but as a plaything, and even serve as military rations in critical moments. So the Hongwu Empire saved a considerable number of fairy maidens from the demon side. At first, everyone had a very favorable impression of the witch. After all, her appearance and figure were all first class. As more and more witches began to return to their ancestors, 99% of the people were scared to death by the witches. The remaining 1% has also been given rest to the witch, so no one has been willing to marry her back home until now. I learned from my eldest wife, Kongchan Shueji, that fairy maidens are generally divided into 6 major races. Fox girl, snake girl, mouse girl, hedgehog girl, wolf girl, and ghost girl. And these witch maidens all have unique surnames, such as the snake maiden's surname being Empty Cicada, the fox maiden's surname being Warm Fox, and the ghost maiden's surname being Joyo. Of course, now that they have married Su Chen, their subsequent children will have to be surnamed Su. If Su Chen cannot pay taxes and is forcibly taken away for corvée labor, their children will still have to be surnamed Kong Chan and Wanhu. Is this Beifu? Talking and laughing all the way, I arrived at Beifu County in less than 2 hours. Not to mention, this Beifu County city is really not small, just the city walls cannot be seen at a glance. Ladies and gentlemen, are any of you familiar with Beifu City? If familiar, please point the way and let's go to the largest restaurant for a good meal first. Then go buy some clothes and daily necessities. Following the 20 to 30 meter high city gate, Su Chen walked into the city and looked at the antique city in front of him. She turned her head to look at her three wives. It should be said that this ancient city really has a unique charm. Although Su Chen, who lived in his past life, had also seen ancient Chinese cities on the internet, he had never personally participated in them. Not to mention, the wisdom of the ancients cannot be underestimated, and the luxury level of this city is not inferior to that of modern times. Although there are no towering buildings that can easily reach hundreds of meters in modern times, tall buildings of 30.40 meters and 40.50 meters can still be seen everywhere. Husband, the largest restaurant in Beifu City should be Zhao's Baixiang Tower. I heard that having a meal inside the Baixiang Tower requires at least 2 yuan to start, and the guests are all high-ranking officials and dignitaries. When it comes to the Zhao family, we have to mention Lady Zhao. Mrs. Zhao has a nickname called Black Widow, who holds 70% of the wealth of the 4 surrounding counties in Beifu City. My mother said that the Mage Alliance, Business Alliance, Mining Alliance, and Craftsman Alliance here are all owned by Mrs. Zhao. It can be said that even if a copper coin falls from the sky in the entire Beifu County, 2/3 of it must belong to Lady Zhao. Kong Chan Shui Ji gave Su Chen a brief introduction to the current situation in Beifu City, which left Su Chen stunned. Wow, how could there be such a ruthless woman? I thought that owning 10,000 taels of gold in this border city could be considered a millionaire. Unexpectedly, someone even monopolized Beifu City and the 4 county towns below. Let's go straight to Zhao's Baixiang building. Speaking, Su Chen raised his whip and whipped the donkey's buttocks. After circling around all the way, in less than half an hour, a group of 4 arrived at the legendary Baixiang Tower. Looking at the 4 to 50 meter Baixiang restaurant in front of her, Su Chen couldn't help but nod. It truly deserved to be the largest restaurant in Beifu City. Sir, madam, please come inside. By the way, I'm not sure what the gentleman's identity is. If it's cloth clothes, you can only sit on the first floor. If it's soldiers patrolling, you can go to the second floor. After tying up the donkey cart, Su Chen took the 3 ladies to the Baixiang Tower. On the first floor, serve me 4 people some good wine and dishes. According to 5 taels of gold. Speaking, Su Chen threw 5 taels of gold to the waiter, and then sat down in a corner with the waiter's introduction. After eating and drinking enough, Su Chen strolled around the city with his 3 wives. Not to mention, the food here is still very good. Although it's not as delicious as Chinese food on earth, the taste is not bad either. There are all kinds of condiments, but the wine here is rice wine, not baijiu. The degree is not very high, about 10 degrees, which really caught Su Chen's eye. Su Chen is more or less good at making wine. Although Su Chen is not a professional, she has really seen science popularization and production methods on TikTok in her previous life. So I can make this baijiu sooner or later after I go back. Mage Alliance. Just as the 3 ladies went to buy clothes and daily necessities, Su Chen couldn't help but squint as she looked at the nearby Mage Guild. In just a moment, 4 different types of people dressed differently had already entered and exited the Mage Guild. There are monks, Taoists, officials and soldiers, as well as ordinary people dressed in different clothes. Husband, this is the Mage Alliance, and all those who can defeat demons and eliminate demons are officially referred to as mages. Like us commoners, we can post tasks in the Mage Guild, and mages will take on tasks to complete. Not only can you earn money for publishing tasks, but you can also earn a lot of merits and virtues. Meritorious deeds can be exchanged for corresponding mage levels in the official market. The higher the level of a mage, the more benefits they receive from the official market each year. At present, in our entire Beifu City, the highest cultivation is the 5th grade mage, who is also a 5th grade celestial master, Zhang Tianshi. Seeing Su Chen staring straight at the Mage Alliance, Empty Cicada Shueji walked over with a smile and gave Su Chen a brief introduction to this Mage Alliance. By the way, husband, you need to find a craftsman to decorate your house. You can go to the Craftsman Alliance to find them later. Also posting tasks over there, as long as someone takes on the task, they can come with us. Their Craftsman Alliance has a unique spirit treasure, and the decoration speed is very fast. Of course, the price is also not cheap. If your husband is not in a hurry, you can find some ordinary people to help with the decoration. If you don't even want to find someone, you can buy some materials yourself, and I will go back to my parents' house to find someone to help. Just take care of the food. Listening to Kongchan Shueji's words, Su Chen reached out and patted Kongchan Shueji's shoulder. Originally, she wanted to rub Medusa's head, but unfortunately, Su Chen was only 1.78 meters tall, barely 1.8 meters tall when she put on her shoes. But the height of the empty cicada Shueji exceeded 1.9 meters, and Su Chen couldn't reach her head, so she could only reluctantly pat her shoulder. This made Su Chen couldn't help but sigh. He was having a small horse pull a big cart. Chapter 005. First Encounter of Evil. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. The wisdom of ancient people should not be underestimated. After wandering around the entire Beifu city for an afternoon, Su Chen was able to see the bustling ancient city. The key is that Beifu city is not bustling. After all, it is the northernmost city of the Hongwu Empire, located on the front line of fighting against the demon tribe, and the population is definitely not that large. This made Su Chen couldn't help but feel how prosperous Luoyang, which had a population of 1,002,000 years ago, should be. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for us to go home too. Otherwise, it would be dark later. After wandering around Beifu city for an afternoon, although Su Chen didn't take a stroll around it, he could still see the ancient city. After all, I just got married today. Let's go out and take a look later, thinking about my 3 charming ladies. Su Chen felt a surge of passion in her heart. She couldn't even marry anyone on earth, and she didn't expect to marry 3 just 3 days after crossing over. Okay, husband, we don't need anything less. We can go back now. The Craftsman Alliance has also accepted our commission, and someone should come to our house tomorrow to help with the decoration. After thinking for a moment, Madame Empty Cicada Shueji spent 100 taels of gold on her entire afternoon of work today. Basically, I bought everything that was missing at home. Even if I hadn't bought it yet, I entrusted it to the Craftsman Alliance. They will come over tomorrow to help with home decoration, as well as tables, chairs, benches, furniture, and so on. Just prepare the money and they can help create everything else without any worries. Yes, husband, we don't lack anything anymore. My sister and I have been buying new clothes for the first time since we were young. Empty Cicada Rain Book shook her head, tightly holding her new clothes in her arms, extremely rare. Their mother also married poorly because she was a witch, and their father couldn't afford to marry a wife or pay taxes. They bravely married their mother Kong Cicada Yuming. Although their mother had good control and did not return to her ancestors, they gave birth to 4 siblings, but these days they have always prioritized sons over daughters. They never wore new clothes from childhood to adulthood, and even when they got married, they only brought a linen outfit. This whole outfit is still covered in patches. Me too. Not only is it my first time buying new clothes, but it's also my first time coming to the city for a meal. Thank you, husband. When Hu Huanzhu said this and kissed Su Chen's face, and her situation was similar. However, she was the only child in their family, and there was no other way. Her father was scared to death by her mother during the wedding night. Fortunately, she was pregnant with her, and over the years, relying solely on her mother to farm the land was enough to support the 2 of them. Hey, let's go. I'll take you back to your parents' house in 3 days. Our family is still wealthy, so when we go back, we still need to bring back some gifts to some extent. Su Chen smiled and drove the donkey cart towards the village. In the car, the 3 daughters-in-law with smiling faces were all fantasizing about their future lives. They thought their husbands would also despise them like other men. Even if they didn't, they wouldn't live a good life. After all, those who marry witches are all poor families, and being able to pay taxes is considered good. How could they still have the conditions to buy so many things? Sigh. After more than an hour, when the donkey cart stopped at Su Chen's doorstep, the three ladies quickly carried the things on the donkey cart back home. Su Chen, carrying 10 pounds of rice wine brought from the city during the day, sat on the carriage and headed towards the village chief's house. "Village chief, are you at home?" From a distance, Su Chen started shouting. The current time period is the end of October, and November is coming soon. At night, the weather in Xiaohe village was still very cold, and it had already started to fall below zero. So most of the people in the village are at home and don't leave their houses much anymore. "Xiao Su, have you returned from the city?" Upon hearing Su Chen's shout, the old village chief who had just finished his meal walked out of the house. Looking at the rice wine handed over by Su Chen, the old village chief also grinned. "I'm back. I just got married and I'm going to buy some belongings. I have to go back in a few days. There's nothing at home, and the food I bought is only enough for 7 days." Su Chen scratched her head and tied the village head's donkey into the donkey shed, then waved to the village head and prepared to go home to enter the bridal chamber. "Xiao Su, listen to uncle's advice, don't get addicted just because the witch looks good. You were saved by uncle, can uncle still harm you? No one in Xiaohe village has ever married a witch. But without exception, everyone was scared to death. Xiao Su, even if there were more uncles, I wouldn't say anything. Think carefully about it yourself." Watching Su Chen's receding figure, the old village chief couldn't help but shout at her. "I understand, thank you, uncle." Knowing that the village chief is well-intentioned, Su Chen also waved at the village chief, "Snake woman. Fox girl. Isn't that Queen Medusa and Sadaji? Men who like anime, who are afraid of this. I wish I had more. As for fear. Su Chen just wants to say that it's good if these witch girls are not afraid of herself. Are you afraid of witch girls? Besides, what is this? Not to mention Snake Girl and Fox Girl, even the female ghost Nye Xiaoqian and Caterpillar Sugar Treasure have been given to Kuan by their seniors. Even the third brother next door, the Bengal Giant Lizard, and the motorcycle exhaust pipe, never let go. Are you still afraid of Snake Girls and Fox Girls? Brush. Just as Su Chen excitedly rubbed her hands, thinking about when she was about to enter the bridal chamber with the doctor. Su Chen only felt a cool breeze coming from his back, and his entire back was instantly soaked with cold sweat. Looking up, Su Chen only felt that her heart was about to jump out. Because Su Chen saw a tall tree in front of her, with a disheveled woman staring at her intently. This woman is clearly not human, because Su Chen saw that her tongue was at least half a meter long, constantly swallowing back and forth like a snake's venom. And this female ghost's body is constantly dripping black water droplets, which drip onto the tree trunk and directly corrode it into a pitch-black hole. My grass. Su Chen, who grew under the red flag, had never seen such a posture before and suddenly felt a tingling sensation on her scalp. Grass. Without any hesitation, Su Chen ran straight towards the Great Wall, because Su Chen heard from the old village chief that there were 6 imperial edicts on this Great Wall. Whether it was a demon tribe or a demon, as long as their cultivation level did not exceed 6 levels, they dared not approach. Not good. Just as Su Chen was running towards the Great Wall, the eldest lady Kong Cicada Shueji, who was tidying up her wedding room at Su Chen's home, suddenly changed her expression and pushed open the door, running towards Su Chen. Chapter 006. Madam's Ability. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Demons Die. Just as Su Chen was running frantically towards the Great Wall, not far behind him, a figure over 4 meters tall holding a demonic sword came to the female ghost in the blink of an eye. Bold. The figure let out a roar and plunged its sword into the female ghost's chest. Second time. As the demonic sword pierced into the female ghost's body, a white smoke emanated from her body, and with a scream, she completely disappeared. And this figure holding the demon-eliminating sword actually has the upper body of the empty cicada Xueji, and her lower body is a white snake tail that is about 3 meters long. Husband. Kong Chan Xueji watched as Su Chen was about to run home. She transformed and ran towards her own home, transforming into a normal appearance. Who? No, we need to quickly go to Beifu city tomorrow and invite a mage to come over and make arrangements. Although Li Yuanba is powerful, he can't defeat ghosts. Although I have a heavenly master's degree, I can practice martial arts. But I haven't started practicing yet, and I don't have any combat ability against the evil spirits. At the doorstep, Su Chen took a few breaths and pushed open the door to enter. It wasn't that she was tired, but she was mainly scared by the female ghost. Husband, what's wrong with you? Watching Su Chen sweat profusely as she ran in from outside, Madame Kong Chan Xueji walked over with a towel, wiped Su Chen's face and asked him with a puzzled expression. Madam, you don't know. I just saw a hanged ghost at the village entrance. Wow, that tongue is so long. If it weren't for the 6 emperor's orders on the Great Wall, I reckon I wouldn't be able to come back this time. No, ma'am. Go and call the 2nd and 3rd ladies as well. I have something to say. After thinking for a moment, Su Chen quickly called over all 3 of his wives. His heavenly master's degree is an encyclopedia of cultivation. There are many things inside that can be practiced, not only by oneself, but also by my 3 wives. I have a 12th grade merit and golden lotus protector on my side, so I can't let evil spirits get close, but this thing is really scary. Just looking at it makes Su Chen feel a little scared. After all, not every ghost is Nye Xiaoqian, is it? Husband, what's wrong with you? Husband, why are you sweating profusely? After Empty Cicada Snow Ji called Empty Cicada Rain Book and when Xuanhuan over, the 2 women looked at Su Chen's sweaty appearance and became puzzled. Quick, fast, light up all the lights, I'll give you something. Just now I went to deliver the donkey cart to the old village chief, but on my way back, I unexpectedly encountered a female ghost. If it weren't for the 6 emperor's orders on the Great Wall to suppress it, I might not have been able to come back. Come on, this is something passed down from my ancestors. Each of you should choose a cultivation method to cultivate. So in the future, when encountering evil forces, we can also protect ourselves. As when Xuanhuan lit several coal lamps, the house also lit up. When it comes to Su Chen's house, not only Su Chen's house, but also the houses of the entire Xiaohe village are the same as Su Chen's house. That's why the south is very bright, but there are no windows or anything like that in the north. Every day when the sun sets, the inside of the house becomes unusually dark. Look, this is the ancestral treasure of my husband's family. The name is Tian Shirdu, which includes alchemy, weapon refining, formation techniques, and talismanship techniques. There is even a cultivation method for horse immortal, so the 3 ladies can choose what they like to use for cultivation. The technique I practiced for my husband is called Lightning Thunder Fist, but I have been refining my body before. So far, Wei Fu has already possessed the power of the 4 symbols and is about to start practicing the Lightning Thunder Fist. As Su Chen spoke, he took out the Heavenly Master Degree book from the system space and handed it to Kong Chan Xueji. Oh. Husband, is this? After opening the Heavenly Master's Degree, Kong Cicada Xueji found that it was actually an encyclopedia of cultivation, divided into 2 categories of cultivation methods. Ascending Immortal and Ascending Horse Immortal. Husband, I choose this, and there is also the method of refining weapons. Most of us snake women are worshipped by Lu Xian, and Lu Xian's weapon is the demon-eliminating sword. Kongchan Xueji was directly shocked and she looked at the content on the Tian Shirdu. She has the 7th grade cultivation method passed down from her mother, and after so many years of cultivation, she also has some Taoist practices. I didn't expect that even my husband's side could wholesale 10th-grade martial arts techniques. Husband, I want the technique of talismanship and the method of cultivating horse immortal. Husband, I want the formation and the cultivation method of horse immortal. The remaining 2 women have all chosen their own martial arts, and it is really difficult to survive in this world without any self-defense. The court ordered officials to use their official positions to mobilize the aura of the Hongwu Empire and protect themselves with golden dragons. Those generals can also use their evil energy to suppress evil spirits. Only ordinary people have no way to fight against evil spirits, and can only go to the Mage Alliance to release missions for the mage to take action. After all, ordinary people don't even have the method of cultivation, and besides, not everyone is suitable for cultivation. Alright, this is 3,000 taels of gold. Madam, I'll leave this to you for safekeeping. The remaining 1,000 taels of gold, 2 ladies and 3 ladies, each of you has 500 taels. I'll keep these 500 taels of gold in my hands as an emergency measure. I'll also need the money for the house renovation tomorrow. Su Chen watched as all 3 ladies had chosen their martial arts, and then took out the gold and placed it on the ground, distributing it to the 3 ladies. Husband, why do you have so much money? Seeing the shimmering gold on the ground, the eyes of the 3 ladies lit up. This is passed down from my husband's ancestors. Alright, take the gold and leave. That's all for today. When the house renovation is completed tomorrow, we will go to the county town to find someone to buy some land. Previously, due to frequent wars here, the land was very cheap, but there will be no more wars in the future. The price of land will gradually rise, and currently the selling price of 1 acre of land here is 8 taels of silver. I plan to directly use 4,000 taels of gold to buy 5,000 acres of land. Su Chen scratched her head and expressed her own thoughts. In ancient times, land represented wealth. All the land around Xiaohe village adds up to 5,000 acres. Once Su Chen buys all these lands, the people in and around Xiaohe village will become Su Chen's tenants. In the future, they will plant land for Su Chen, but unfortunately, Su Chen is not a scholar. Otherwise, these 5,000 acres of land do not need to pay any taxes. However, there are not many taxes now, and the land tax of the Hongwu Empire is 10 and 3. That's about 1/3 of it, and the remaining grain is enough for Su Chen to make a fortune. After discussing the matter, Su Chen also turned his gaze to the empty cicada Xueji. Kongchan Xueji is the legitimate wife, so Su Chen is going to accompany Kongchan Xueji tonight. Tomorrow is the 2nd wife, and the day after tomorrow is the 3rd wife. I will take the 3 ladies back to my mother's house the day after tomorrow. Chapter 007. Demon, I need your help in my cultivation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Madam, it's time to rest. Looking out of sight, Su Chen's finally calmed down inner turmoil erupted. I have no choice but to be single for 30 years in my previous life. At most, I can only help some women who have fallen short, and even if I want to marry a wife, I have no money. Who would have thought that as soon as I traveled, I had 3 charming daughters-in-law? Yes, husband. After hearing Su Chen's words, empty cicada Xueji also took Su Chen to the wedding room with great anxiety. At this point, the wedding room had already been decorated very beautifully, and the cotton quilt that Su Chen opened from the life gift package was bright red, especially suitable for the occasion. Husband, it's time to have a toast. The matter of the empty cicada and Snow Queen can be said to be very bumpy. Most of the people who did not believe in evil and married a witch before were scared to death. Kong Cicada Xueji finally married Su Chen, who is so kind and wealthy. If she gets excited and returns to her ancestors later, she will scare Su Chen to death. Then she was truly guilty, and she, along with her sister and Xuanhuan, became widows. Fortunately, Su Chen gave them so much gold, even if Su Chen had an accident, the money was enough for them to live a good life. After drinking the toast, Su Chen excitedly rubbed her hands and rushed towards her eldest wife. Tonight, someone Su is going to work hard. Look at my wife, this queen's face is now full of shyness, as well as her pair of at least 1.2 meters long legs. If this were to be wrapped around my waist, wouldn't I want to be thrilled? Hiss. Wow. Just as Su Chen was about to ram Kuan, a milky white snake tail suddenly appeared in her arms. Husband, husband. Seeing her own tail exposed due to excitement, empty cicada Xueji was frightened. Yo. White lady. Boo 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 boo. Originally, the empty cicada Xueji who saw her own tail thought that her tail would scare Su Chen at least. I didn't expect my husband to start kissing me while holding his tail. And constantly kissing upwards. Demon, I need your help in my cultivation. Prepare to catch demons. Hiss. Tip. Congratulations to the host for successfully getting married. Tip. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 10,000 taels of gold, no further distribution in the future. Tip. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 1 seed, you can set 2 attributes yourself. Note. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a complete set of Beifu brewing technology. Tip. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 20 years of experience in practicing lightning thunder fist. The next morning, the empty cicada Xueji woke up early because she was afraid that last night was her own dream. However, when she saw her husband holding her snake tail and lying in her arms like a child, calm cicada Xueji smiled happily. It seems that I have a guarantee for the latter half of my life. Thinking of this, empty cicada Xueji put away her tail and kissed Su Chen's face. I just got up and prepared some facial wash for Su Chen. There are no servants at home now, so everything needs to be done by the 3 wives themselves. Oh, indeed. Those who hold on to their courage, those who starve to their cowardice, this witch is so good. How come no one dares to marry except me? It seems that I thought I had to work hard to save the witch. Madam left for a while, and Su Chen also woke up from his sleep. Thinking back on his wife's shy queen face last night, Su Chen can be said to have a strong sense of achievement. Medusa, that's not something that ordinary people can subdue. Although my wife is currently only a low-end version of Medusa. Sister. On the other hand, as soon as empty cicada Xueji walked out of Su Chen's room, empty cicada Yushu and Xuanhuan walked up with a worried expression on their faces. According to the rules, it is indeed necessary for the wife to accompany her husband on the wedding night, but if Su Chen is scared to death, then the two of them will not have a good life in the future. Don't worry, my husband really likes it. Last night, my husband held my tail and kissed me for half a night. Looking at the 2 women who were feeling uneasy, Kong Chan Xueji couldn't help but laugh and talk to them about last night's incident. What? Sister, can tails also do it? After listening to what happened last night, Kong Cicada Yushu looked at her sister with a bewildered expression on her face. Transforming into a tail. How about the bridal chamber? Just change it back. Alright, you two hurry up and cook. I'm going back to serve my husband. Empty cicada Xueji gave the 2 women a bad look and quickly went to boil water for Su Chen. Hiss, I didn't expect that our husband is really different from ordinary people. Looking at the back of the empty cicada Xueji, the 2 women looked at me and I looked at you, both showing an incredulous look. After all, others are scared to death, even if they are not scared to death, they lose interest in marital affairs in the latter half of their lives. I didn't expect my husband to still like this tune. This is really. It's so great. 10,000 taels of gold, no more monetary rewards will be given in the future. But with this brewing technique, it can actually make you a lot of money. The world drinks rice wine, and Baijiu is a monopoly. When the time comes, I will set up more Baijiu brands, and I am sure I can make a lot of money. As for the experience of this 20-year lightning thunder fist, I will absorb it later. And this 5-star seed, you can choose 2 5-star attributes by yourself. So, as my eldest son, he will definitely inherit most of my family property in the future. Firstly, there is a talent for cultivation, which is definitely necessary. Otherwise, in this eerie world, no matter how much money there is, it cannot be defended. The next step is talent. If you can become a court official, no matter what kind of evil it is, you dare not approach me. If it's not necessary in other aspects, as long as you're strong enough, you can basically do whatever you want in this world. Su Chen was setting attributes for her eldest son when the eldest lady walked in with a basin of facial wash. Husband, get up and wash your face quickly. The decorator will come over soon. Kong Chan Shueji smiled and helped Su Chen up from the bed, then dressed her and began to serve Su Chen to wash her face. Having a wife is great. Feeling the full love of his wife, Su Chen couldn't help but laugh. Is it Su Chen's family? We are the craftsmen here to help with the decoration. Su Chen was enjoying the care of his wife in the gentle countryside, but outside the door came the cries of craftsmen. Chapter 008. Decorating a new home and preparing for a wedding banquet. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Master, our house has a total of 6 floors. Didn't I just marry 3 ladies? So I want to decorate the house better. Let's start directly from the 6th floor. Looking at the 20 or 30 craftsmen from the alliance outside the door, Su Chen led the 3 ladies to tidy up the inside of the house. Take the craftsmen towards the 6th floor, preparing to start decorating from the 6th floor. Su Chen's home is said to have 6 floors, but in fact it is 7 floors. Above the 6 floors is the Great Wall, and many families also have rooms on the wall. This is not about everyone taking advantage of the official situation and building their own houses on the Great Wall, but about having someone guard the northern demon tribe on the Great Wall. Once black clouds appear in the sky, it is basically that the demon tribe has invaded and is about to light the beacon tower. Mr. Su, I don't know how to decorate, what materials to use, and what is the budget. After a group of people arrived at the 6th floor, the leading craftsman asked Su Chen about it. Oh. I'm Li Sanjiang, a 3rd-level craftsman. This time, I personally led a team to Mr. Su's house to help him decorate. Hello Master Li, I don't quite understand the materials, but the budget is 1,000 taels of gold. 1,000 taels of gold, equivalent to 10 million on Earth. Su Chen's home has a total of 6 floors, each of which is over 400 square meters. The 6 floors add up to over 2,000 square meters, which is about 10 million yuan. After all, Su Chen didn't want to decorate every floor well. Oh. 1,000 taels of gold, that's a decent decoration. As for the materials, I suggest Mr. Su use redwood and jujube wood. Huanghua pear is exclusively used by the emperor, while rosewood is used by nobles and nobles. The best materials for us commoners are redwood and jujube wood. Master Li introduced Su Chen to things that ordinary people can use, as well as the scale of decoration that can be done with 1,000 taels of gold. Okay, then Master Li can help with the decoration. After briefly introducing the style of decoration to Master Li, Su Chen left the 6th floor and walked downstairs. There is nothing in Su Chen's home now, and there are only 4 bedrooms on the 2nd floor for living. So Su Chen plans to decorate and tidy up her home well. At least 2 large fireplaces need to be installed to keep the house warm, and then some heated beds and walls need to be built. Otherwise, it will be too cold in winter and it will be difficult to survive in this era without cotton. In addition, warehouses, granaries, wine cellars, saunas, bathrooms, training rooms, and so on must all be established. Practicing within the Great Wall is blessed with speed. After all, this Great Wall is suppressed by the imperial edict of 6 emperors. But correspondingly, although the cultivation here is relatively fast, it cannot withstand too many demon tribes and may lose life at any time. This results in very few people practicing here, unless they are like villagers from Xiaohe village who were born here. I also have no ability to move to the water town in Jiangnan and can only be forced to live here. Just as everyone was busy, Su Chen also found a corner without anyone and began to absorb 20 years of experience in Lightning Thunder Fist. ZZZZ. Zila, Zila. Host. Su Chen. Cultivation. 2 Money Heavenly Master. Treasure. 12 Grade Merit Golden Lotus, 10 Grade Heavenly Master Degree. Prop. 15,500 Taels of Gold, 15. Star Seed, and the 10th Grade Lightning and Thunder Boxing Technique. I only have 2 Money, Heavenly Master. Feeling the majestic power within her body, Su Chen couldn't help but laugh. Husband, husband. Just as Su Chen was thinking, outside the door, the lady walked in and pulled Su Chen towards the outside. Husband, Master Li has already decorated the 6th floor and asked you to go and inspect it. Speaking, he took Su Chen to the 6th floor, ready to see the decoration style of the 6th floor. So fast. Although Su Chen knew that these craftsmen were decorating very quickly, she didn't expect them to be so fast. It took less than half an hour, right? Mr. Su, let's see if our decoration meets your requirements. When Su Chen arrived at the 6th floor, he found that it had undergone earth-shattering changes. When Su Chen first moved in, there was only one stone house on the 6th floor, and there was nothing inside. But at this point, the 6th floor has already been floored, and the lobby is a small 200 square meters, with various furniture and chandeliers inside, and even rows of sofas. Even the windows have been replaced with 150-meter-long French window, where the sun can directly shine in. In the room, the heated con requested by Su Chen has also been built, and even the wall close to the Great Wall has been transformed into a firewall. Although it is not possible to start a fire on the 6th floor to burn a con, the fire inside the fireplace will follow the fire wall into the con. It can also play a role in keeping warm, with every room equipped with a dressing room and restroom. If not carefully examined, it may even give Su Chen a feeling of returning to modernity. Master Li's craftsmanship is really amazing. Please continue to decorate according to this style. After the acceptance was completed, Su Chen gave Master Li a thumbs up. Truly a 3rd-level craftsman, this craftsmanship is really good. The furniture is made to Su Chen's heart, and even the decoration style is exactly the same as Su Chen's idea. After receiving Su Chen's approval, Master Li led the team to continue the decoration. 5th floor, 4th floor, 3rd floor, 2nd floor, 1st floor, basement. In less than a day, Master Li finished decorating all of Su Chen's home. Leaving Xiaohe village with 1,000 taels of gold given by Su Chen, heading towards Beifu city. Husband, will this be our home in the future? Until Master Li led people away from here, all 3 ladies had a dreamy feeling. Because this is really too luxurious, although their home is also within the Great Wall, it is basically not decorated. There is only one bed and bedding, and Su Chen's meticulous decoration may be the only one on the entire Great Wall. After all, 1,000 taels of gold is enough for everyone to live in the county town. No one would do such a delicate decoration here. That's right, this will be our home in the future. Let the 3 ladies live directly on the 6th floor. There are 4 rooms on the 6th floor, 1 for me and 3 for the 3 ladies. The 5th floor is reserved for our future children to live in, while the 4th floor is a place for cultivation and enjoyment, and cannot be inhabited. The 3rd floor is for guests' residence, the 2nd floor is for servants' residence, and the 1st floor and basement are warehouses. Alright, the 3 ladies are ready. I'll go call the village chief to come over for dinner later. Firstly, it's a celebration of our marriage, and secondly, we're decorating our new house. This is also something worth celebrating. And the village chief even saved my life back then. Su Chen smiled and said to the three ladies. I didn't expect to have a family in just 4 days after crossing over, and even married 3 beautiful ladies. He even became the richest man in Xiaohe village. There's no reason for that. Chapter 009. Encountering Evil Again. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. In Su Chen's plan, his family will eventually do business in the future. Although in ancient times, the status of merchants was very low, ranking last among scholars, farmers, and merchants. But Su Chen had no choice. It was simply difficult for Su Chen to become a scholar now. If you are farming, you can only earn enough food and clothing. In addition, now that you have 3 daughters-in-law, there is a slight possibility of natural or man-made disasters and you may not be able to pay taxes, forcing yourself to do corvée labor. We can only cultivate our own children in the future. Old village chief, old village chief. From a distance, Su Chen shouted towards the old village chief's house. Sun Su, are you still alive? Inside the house, the old village chief was stunned when he heard Su Chen's shout. In his understanding, 99% of those who had married a witch could not survive. And there are only fairies on the edge of the Great Wall, but there are not many now, just like there were over 200 people who came for a blind date this time, but there were only 3 fairies. Old village chief, what are you saying? Of course I'm alive, and I'm doing pretty well. This is not because my house was renovated today, and I got married. The 2 things were done together, treating the old village chief's family to a meal. It's also a way to express my feelings. After all, I was saved by you, the village chief. Su Chen greeted the old village chief with a smile, saying that Su Chen's journey was quite surreal. They either got hit by a car or touched the electric switch when traveling, and it's really unprecedented for someone like Su Chen to travel while sleeping. Treat my family to dinner. My family is in the teens. You've spent all the money you gave, how will you pay taxes in the future? Why don't you use your money to buy a few acres of land? How can you earn more in a year? The old village chief was stunned when he heard that Su Chen was actually going to treat his whole family to dinner. If we had just finished harvesting the grain by this time, our appetite would be growing stronger and stronger. The dozen or so people in my family are open to eating, even if there is no meat or vegetables, it will cost 1 or 2 silver. With 1 or 2 silver coins, it's enough to feed a person for 6 months. Don't worry, village chief. I'll notify the whole family to come to my house for dinner later. However, everyone has to bring their own tables, chairs, and benches. We don't have that many tables, chairs, and benches at home. Alright, old village chief, then I'll go back first. I have to help my wife with everything. After speaking, Su Chen turned around and walked towards his own house. The ghost who had been hanging in the way last night, Su Chen, was vividly remembered. If encountering a high or low situation that scares Su Chen, it's better to hurry home while it's not dark yet. It seems that I still need to go to Beifu city tomorrow to buy some grain. The ingredients that were supposed to be treated to everyone for dinner today were intended by Su Chen to bring to his father-in-law's house. Since we want to invite the old village chief's family to dinner, let's just take it out and use it first. Coincidentally, taking advantage of the fact that the old village chief and his family are all here for dinner, I would like to inquire about the situation of the Black Widow family in Beifu city. He. As she walked, Su Chen felt a cool breeze on her back, and a cold sweat soaked Su Chen's clothes. Grass. It was this feeling again, and Su Chen only felt a tingling sensation in her scalp. Looking back, a rotten face was almost sticking to Su Chen's face. Even Su Chen could smell the smell of carrion on this face, with those 2 white eyes hanging in their sockets, giving off a feeling that they were about to fall off at any moment. Lightning thunder fist. Salala. With Su Chen's roar, a sky blue arc also appeared on her right arm. Bang. With a single punch, Su Chen's fist pierced through the evil body, and the terrifying lightning enveloped Su Chen's body. Make Su Chen look like a heavenly deity descending to earth. Hee 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 hee. Unexpectedly, even after being pierced through by Su Chen, this mischievous figure could still burst into laughter and even twisted his neck to press towards Su Chen. Grass. Su Chen was aroused and quickly ran towards the great wall after drawing out her fist. This world is really too dangerous. It seems better not to run around when one's cultivation is not successful. Not good. On the other hand, at Su Chen's home, empty cicada Xueji, who was preparing ingredients with her two sisters, suddenly frowned. Opening the window, he jumped down and ran straight towards Su Chen. Demons die. Empty cicada Xueji let out a furious shout, and a long sword of about 1.5 meters suddenly appeared in her hand. Sting. After this long sword pierced into the body of the evil spirit, just like the female ghost yesterday, it also turned into a white eye and disappeared. Husband, are you okay? After hearing his wife's voice, Su Chen, who was running away, turned around and saw the empty cicada Xueji holding the demon-eliminating sword, like a queen. Madam, this. Did you kill that evil spirit? Blinking his eyes, he looked around carefully and saw that there was no one else besides his wife. It's me, husband. Let's go home first. It's not been peaceful lately. The frequency of evil appearing is really too high. Kong Chan Xueji quickly walked towards Su Chen's home, as this was a battlefield and there were many evil forces. But it's not as frequent as once a day, otherwise the people in Xiaohe village would have been killed by these evil forces long ago. Madam, what was that just now? Returning home, Su Chen asked the empty cicada Xueji with some confusion. Didn't I just give my wife the practice method last night? And last night, I tossed and turned with the eldest lady until after 2 o'clock in the second half of the night before going to bed, so I didn't have time to practice. Husband, my mother is a horse fairy, and my sister and I have also learned some techniques of becoming a horse fairy from her to some extent. But there are indeed 5 great immortals worshipped by the horse immortals. Although they are not from the demon tribe, they are not much different from the demon tribe. This has led to many people not liking being a horse fairy, and my sister and I have not dared to reveal that we can be a horse fairy. Empty cicada Xueji felt a bit embarrassed and introduced her current situation to Su Chen. It's okay, it's just a means of confronting the enemy. I don't care about what doesn't happen. As long as you can protect yourself, that's all. Madam, let's go to Beifu city with me tomorrow. We need to purchase some supplies for returning to our mother's home, and then go to the Mage Alliance to issue a mission to drive out all these evil creatures around us. I still feel very resistant to these evils in my heart. This is also normal, after all, although there have been legends of ghosts and monsters before Su Chen's journey, he has never seen them with his own eyes. Now these evil and ghostly creatures suddenly appeared in front of Su Chen. It's absolutely nonsense to say that Su Chen is not afraid. Okay, listen to your husband. Chapter 010. Strange Wedding Team. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Hey, every family has a hard-to-read scripture. In the evening, after seeing off the old village chief's family, Su Chen couldn't help but sigh. In the era when the old village chief got married, there was not yet a mandatory allocation of 3 wives, but it was also a mandatory allocation of 1. Afterwards, the old village chief gave birth to 2 sons and was assigned 6 daughters-in-law, along with the old village chief's grandson. A family of more than 10 people, only paying taxes every year requires paying 10 gold coins, which is also the reason why children do not need to pay so much when they are young. So the old village head and his family are also the ones who grow the most land in the village, planting a full 500 acres of land. After deducting taxes and rations each year, they can still leave 3 or 4 gold coins. The rest of the money depends on the 2 sons working in the city to earn money. If the money is not enough, they can only borrow money from the Black Widow to pay taxes. And this Black Widow, Su Chen also briefly learned about it from the village chief's mouth. The reason why Black Widows are called Black Widows is mainly because their experiences are very mystical. In earlier years, the parents of Black Widows forced them to marry into the Zhao family as concubines in order to reduce taxes. Because the Black Widow has a very beautiful appearance, in this era where everyone is pale and skinny, the Black Widow has a beautiful and smooth appearance. The Black Widow had just married into the Zhao family, and before she could fulfill her promise, her husband died suddenly. Originally, the Black Widow was going to be sent back to her mother's house, but the second wife of the Zhao family fell in love with the Black Widow again. Unexpectedly, the second wife also died suddenly on the night of their wedding, which led to the name of the Black Widow being directly used. Both sons died suddenly, and Mr. Zhao directly kicked the Black Widow out of her house. However, the Black Widow's parents sent her back in order not to return the original dowry and not to pay more taxes. After a series of ups and downs, Mr. Zhao also had a crooked mind as he watched the stunning Black Widow. I didn't expect that Mr. Zhao had not had time to implement it yet, and he also died suddenly. The entire family business of the Zhao family has been inherited by the Black Widow. The Black Widow also relied on her iron-fisted skills to double the Zhao family's industry in 15 years. Sleep, sleep, sleep. Rest with second lady tonight. Last night, after experiencing the White Lady, Su Chen plans to play with Xiaoqing tonight. Tomorrow night, he will go to reunite with Su Daji, which is very exciting. Husband, it's time to have a toast. In the evening, in the room of the second lady, after the two of them drank a toast, Su Chen made a big jump and rushed towards the second lady. Not to mention, after the house was renovated, it was still very warm inside the fireplace filled with firewood at night. In addition, with the advent of the hot Kong and fire wall, Su Chen would not feel cold even wearing a single garment inside the house. Hiss, I didn't expect that second lady's figure was even better than first lady's. This figure can at least support 4 children at once without worrying about the children getting hungry. Looking at the figure of his second wife, Su Chen suddenly remembered the 8-foot lady of the island country. Not to mention, now my second wife is quite similar to this 8-foot wife. Husband. Excited, the second lady's tail also exposed. Looking at her snake tail, which was over 3 meters long, the second lady instantly covered her flushed face. Wrapped his tail around Su Chen's body. Hiss. Xiaoqing. Is that you, Xiaoqing? They are indeed twins, indeed White Lady and Xiaoqing. Demon, I need your help in my cultivation. Kunfa. The art of piling. Tip. Congratulations to the host for successfully getting married. Tip. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the 5th level demon eliminating sword *2. Tip. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 1 5-star seed, you can set a 5-star attribute yourself. Tip. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the glass making technology. Tip. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 20 years of array cultivation experience. Tip. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the 5th rank formation and 4 symbols formation. As my sister said, my husband really likes my snake tail. The next morning, the second lady woke up and watched Su Chen drool as he slept with his snake tail in his arms. I couldn't help but laugh happily. It seems that my husband is really different from ordinary people. After transforming back into a human body and putting on clothes, the second lady walked out of the room and prepared facial wash for Su Chen. Second sister, does your husband really like us going back to our ancestors? Besides, my ancestral journey is different from yours, isn't it? You are snake tails, while mine are 9 fox tails and fox ears. Outside the room, the third lady asked the second lady absent-mindedly. Although Su Chen is not afraid of snake tails, nor does he dislike the first lady and second lady. But as a fox woman, she is ultimately different from a snake woman. Besides her beautiful appearance, the key is that she is tall and has a very good figure. After returning to my ancestors, although I was exceptionally seductive and sexy, my 9 foxtails looked quite scary. What if my husband doesn't accept me? Sister, don't daydream. I believe your husband will definitely like you very much. You'll know tonight. I can't tell you the details inside. If I had told you, this book would have been harmonious. Anyway, just experience it yourself and you'll know. The second lady covered her face with some embarrassment and quickly walked towards the direction of the fireplace. Really? Looking at the back of the second lady, the third lady touched her seductive face and then looked at her figure. Although not as good as a snake woman, she is also much better than a normal woman. This has given Madame San some confidence. In the morning, after eating and drinking enough, Su Chen borrowed the donkey cart from the old village chief and headed towards Beifu city with his eldest wife. As for the second and third ladies, they need to tidy up the house well and then prepare lunch for Su Chen and the other 2 at home. Not good. More than an hour later, when Su Chen arrived at Beifu city in a donkey cart. Looking at the situation in front of me, my face suddenly changed. Because not far from Su Chen and others, a welcoming procession was beating towards Beifu city. But the welcoming team was very strange, and Su Chen looked carefully at it. These sedan bearers carrying wedding sedans are actually terrifying-looking skeletons. Even those musicians playing with instruments are skeletons. Even the groom at the forefront of the wedding procession is sinister. Although he is not a skeleton, the rotten flesh on his face shows that he is not a human. Oh. Oh. Drive. Seeing that the gaze of the wedding procession was not on her side, Su Chen quickly turned the donkey cart around and whipped the donkey's buttocks. Quickly flee towards Xiaohe village. Don't be afraid, husband. Just as Su Chen was feeling scared, the lady reached out and took Su Chen's hand, comforting him. By the way, eliminate the magic sword. Seeing his eldest wife, Su Chen suddenly remembered the 2 demonic swords he had obtained during his wedding last night. We need to quickly give Madame a self-defense. Squeak. Gotzi.